The PCC to MCC transition is the rarest developmental conversation a mentor coach can have. Most PCC credentialed coaches are not pursuing MCC. The candidate pool is small, the journey is long, and the standard is the highest in the profession. If you do work with an MCC candidate, what you're about to learn shapes the entire engagement. The developmental conversation at this level is fundamentally different from ACC or PCC work. The instinct is to treat MCC development as an extension of PCC development. Deepen your questions further. Listen even harder. Be more present. Those directives don't produce MCC coaching. They produce more effortful PCC coaching, more trying, more striving, which is the opposite of what artistry looks like. The PCC to MCC transition is a qualitative shift from demonstrating competencies to embodying them. The developmental conversation moves from skill to identity. Not what techniques are you using, but who are you as a coach when you're at your most natural? That's a different kind of conversation entirely. The arc from PCC to MCC moves through 3 stages. First, the coach demonstrates depth. This is solid PCC level, the starting point for any MCC journey. Then integration begins. The coach starts to let go of structure. Moments of artistry appear alongside moments of technique. The methodology is sometimes visible, sometimes not. Finally, artistry becomes the default. The methodology is invisible. The coach's responses emerge from who they are, not from what they know. Where your client sits on this arc determines every piece of feedback you give them. Your analysis uses statement language for precision. The statement codes on the slide give you the analytical framework you work with privately. Your feedback uses relational language. So instead of saying, your M5.1 was at meets, you say, your presence creates something in the room that the client clearly responds to. There's a quality in how you hold the space that goes beyond technique. The statement gives you the lens. The developmental relationship gives you the language. The coach hears the human observation, not the rating code. Never confuse the analytical tool with the delivery. The most powerful developmental feedback at MCC level uses contrast within the same recording. At 420, your response was perfectly calibrated. PCC level depth, great customization of the client's language. At 1430, something different happened. You weren't calibrating anymore. You were just there. The client went deeper than they had all session. That difference, that's what I want you to notice. Both moments are in the same session. The coach experienced both. Naming the contrast helps them feel the distinction between depth and artistry in their own body. When you see artistry in a recording, name it, specifically and generously. This 2-minute segment is MCC coaching, not because of any single technique, but because everything flows. The question, the pause, the observation, the silence. None of it looks deliberate. And the client's response tells me it landed in a way that deliberate coaching doesn't. MCC candidates need to know artistry is already in them. It often appears in moments they didn't notice because those moments felt natural. Your job is to be the mirror that reflects what they're already doing. Early MCC candidates need to hear where artistry already appears. Build confidence. The artistry is there, they just haven't recognized it because it feels effortless, and they've been trained to value effort. Mid-journey candidates need to notice where technique is still visible, not as a criticism, as a developmental invitation. This is where the shift lives. Near MCC candidates need precision on the 2 or 3 moments where residual methodology still shows. The final refinement before submission, same framework, different emphasis at each stage. The more advanced the client, the less you can tell them what to do. You cannot prescribe artistry. Be more spontaneous is self-defeating. Make your methodology more invisible is an instruction that creates visibility. MCC development relies on observations, reflections, and questions rather than guidance. The mentor coach models the MCC competencies in the feedback conversation itself. How you deliver the feedback demonstrates what you're asking for. Your feedback is the teaching. Mentoring an MCC candidate is the most demanding work in this profession. The distinctions are subtle, progress is gradual, and the standard resists prescription. It's also the most rewarding. You're helping a coach find their own mastery, not giving them a checklist or a formula, witnessing, reflecting, and honoring what's emerging in their practice. That can't be prescribed. It can only unfold in the relationship between mentor, coach, and client, the same way artistry unfolds in coaching itself. You have the developmental framework for all 3 credential levels. ACC candidates need behavioral precision. PCC candidates need pattern feedback. MCC candidates need artistry feedback, observations and reflections rather than directions. In Unit 9.4, you apply everything. A real MCC level recording, a full evaluation using the MCC BARS rating options, the most demanding evaluation exercise in this program. And alongside that evaluation, a new set of bias challenges unique to MCC work. That's where we're headed.